Good morning, Bobcats.
This week we've got a bit of a different show for you.
This Friday, the Sage leaves for Tampa Bay, Florida for the Student Television Network National Convention.
There, we will compete in a variety of broadcast competitions.
This past weekend, we practiced for one of them called Crazy 8, where we must create an 8-minute morning show within 8 hours.
But first, dance auditions are coming up March 11th through 13th, so scan the code on the screen for more information.
Once again, thank you to the Carlsbad Educational Foundation.
And with that, here's a show that we filmed and edited in under 8 hours, with the prompt in the nick of time. Welcome back to The Sage. We made it just in the nick of time for the start of our show.
Today, we have a show all about time.
Coming up, we grab a quick bite to eat at Prager Brothers Artisan Bread.
Learn how to save the sand on California beaches before it's too late.
Head down to that same beach to hear about people's biggest time crunch.
And finally, meet an artist whose biggest strength is her ability to create pottery that defies time.
I'm Jacob Dougherty.
And I'm Leila Adams.
The Sage starts right now.
Man, it sure is time for lunch.
Where should we go?
I know that Prager Bros makes good sandwiches while also helping the community.
Let's check it out with Izzi, Gerencher, and Camille, Ambrogelly.
Prager Brothers Bakery prides themselves on being able to put out fresh goods daily to meet the demands of the customers.
I usually get here around like 6:30 in the morning and unload all the breads and pastries to make sure they're all counted for. People just like to know that their bread and their food is coming from a great place, and we have that here.
Bake a lot of different types of breads that are bakery. The ones that take longest are sourdough breads, as they take longer for the fermentation process. We try not to have too much waste in our company. A lot of the items that, might not make our QC, quality control, are used for various other programs at our bakery. Depending on what stage it's at, if it's finished baked and maybe it didn't rise enough or something like that, you might be able to use it as like sliced bread instead of like selling it as coal. You can turn it into, like I said, you eat various breadcrumbs, crostinis, you can always use it like that. And if not, then, if it does go into our donation program, then it will be donated.
All of the food that is not able to make it to display is always in the places that need it more.
We donate the bread that goes bad to our farm, our Shanner farm. And we also donate it to like Boys and Girls Clubs and Maricosta, YMCAs, and homeless shelters and stuff.
Our bakery is very unique. We make everything fresh daily. So we're able to, minimize waste in a sense because we're not trying to forecast so far ahead.
All in all, Prager prides themselves on putting out fresh bread and pastries daily, while also making sure all the extras go to deserving communities to limit the amount of waste as possible. An extra special thank you to the employees here at Prager Bread for letting us explore their bread making processes, as well as sending us home with some delicious sandwiches and pastries. With photojournalist Camille Ambrogelly, this has been Izzi Gerencher reporting for The Sage.
Now that we're done with lunch, let's head to the beach.
Sounds like fun, but I heard that the city is in a bit of a rush to fix up the sand.
Let's hear more about it with Jack Spark, Luke Miller, and Kai Law.
The beaches of Carlsbad have drawn many to the area, but recently, because of storms, the amount of sand in our beaches has been on the decline. The city of Carlsbad has been working on new programs to bring more sand to our beaches.
We've lost about 60% of the beach that we've had on our coastline. Dredging projects usually, they bring in a large vessel that basically goes and it stirs up the sand and it vacuums it up, and then they redistribute it into different locations on the beach.
Residents of Carlsbad hope that in time, the efforts will bring more people to our beaches.
I love the beach. The more they bring stuff to the beach, people will come and enjoy it.
It just has to do with the swell direction. During the winter time, all the storms generate usually from the north, and so our swell direction moves from north to south, and then so it kind of just pulls sand off the beach.
Time is ticking for Carlsbad to save our coastline and put more sand on our beaches. With videographers Kai Law and Luke Miller, this has been Jack Spark reporting for The Sage.
I'll definitely be heading down to the beach more often with these new improvements.
But even the lack of sand doesn't stop our community from hitting the beach.
I was down there earlier and it seemed like everyone was in a bit of a rush.
I noticed that too, almost like they were in a time crunch. Let's learn more with Gunnar, Englert, Nixon, Ebete, and Cooper Rex.
This is Gunnar on the street asking you what your biggest time crunch is.
Mine was finishing college, actually, because I changed my major in my senior year.
I tried to do my entire undergraduate college education full-time while working full-time at the same time.
The
big time crunch I've had was the time I was shot in my stomach. Really a time crunch for my life. It was bleeding out.
When I was young, I was a lifeguard on the beach patrol, and I had somebody out there drowning out in the ocean, and that was the biggest time crunch, is getting out to them and getting them saved.
Running through the Frankfurt airport in Frankfurt, Germany.
I think it always comes down to finishing my schoolwork on time, usually like a big project, and then you have other things in your life going on, so.
Now go. Reporting for The Sage, this has been Gunnar Englert with videographer Cooper and Nixon, and now back to the anchors.
Even when you're in a rush, it's important to slow down sometimes.
One local artist defies deadlines in order to create her best work.
Here with the story is Makena Coleman and Skylar Roy.
Amidst the hustle and bustle of the Carlsbad village, it is clear that it represents a melting pot of art, culture, and creativity. But there's little pockets in the city that act as a calm in the madness. One person who finds serenity in art is Lauren Stites, a local creator who's been selling her work for over 2 years.
It's something I've always enjoyed doing, but never something I thought I would do like as a career or like to sell. Like I didn't study art, you know, but I've been doing pottery for 2 years, and it was something I did with my friend, but I knew the second that I started it, I was like, no, I will be doing this forever because it's amazing. It's so much fun.
However, her story of how she became a vendor is one of right place, right time.
I just walked into a gallery that's here, and they had like a sign up for artists, and I was like, okay, definitely, I can do that. And I basically just decided to start selling because I had so many bowls, and I was like, one girl does not need 100 bowls. So I thought, why not spread the love?
There is beauty in things that take time, and the best art is art where the process decides the deadline.
I attempted to make this lava lamp here, okay? That was kind of my inspiration, and it means the most to me because it was so fun to just like have to, because this is 4 different pieces of pottery that I put together, and then even now after it's been glazed, like it has turned into something completely different than what I thought.
Despite her large quantity of ceramics, Lauren is a big believer in quality work.
I've found that a lot of times when I am allowed to take my time, I'm so much happier with the pieces that I've made. I guess here, because this is obviously what I'm selling. And so it's just so, like, I really get to think about the process, but I definitely think that good art and art that you love takes time.
There is art in everything, and in a world where deadlines are constant, it is important to find the little things that aren't at the hands of time. For The Sage News, this is Makena Coleman and Skylar Roy reporting.
Looks like we finished right on time.
As always, check out our articles at thesagenews.com and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Sage Publication.
This has been Jacob Dougherty
And Leila Adams reporting for
The Sage.